Second, isn't it? What's up, y'all? Y'all gonna have to forgive me. I'm trying to look kind of a little bit rugged, but like I said, I'm a man of my words, so I'm gonna still do this regardless. Computer's been acting stupid, so I'm gonna do my best. So y'all just give me a minute. Nah, I ain't gonna take too long with this one. Just treat this as like a stream of consciousness type of thing. Just something that I just was scoping through my feed that I peeped, and I just want to just chime in and explain um, what the main topic is, what's going on. Just something that I just noticed looking at it. Give me a minute. Turn this down a bit. No, so just to, not to get sound too nonchalant. Y'all should know it by now. It's Rand's back at it again. Another episode. Like I said, not going to be too long, nothing too crazy, but just something that this is one of those moments that I have on my show where, well, most of the time that I do my episodes, it's kind of just, you know, almost like a kind of like a free form type of style that I do. I don't have like a big script that I go over. I just mainly just like, if y'all seen like Curb Your Enthusiasm, if you ever heard like how Larry David doesn't write a script, he just pretty much gives like a scenario and then just goes about it on the fly. It's basically what I do here. I don't really go on a set script. I don't really have notes and pointers. I just jot down exactly what I want to mention and just go from there. But this might be a little different. It's mostly just gonna come off as like just thinking of it as like a organized stream of conscious. Let's just say it like that. Now I posted something on my timeline on IG. Y'all know I always do that, and it showed and of course in all places it would happen in Houston. That's where I'm at. But the people doing it wasn't from New York. That's the crazy thing. Seems like everybody. I said New York. The people that was doing it was from Baltimore and New York, but they were in Houston. Y'all gotta figure me. I'm like sluggish. I've been ripping around all week. But yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how I can put like the article on here. Anyway, it says right here. It says a bottle war trend where nightclub patrons compete by pouring their pricey liquor on the floor is going viral and sparking a conversation about flexing and waste. Let me read it. Says here a video of a so-called bottle war in a Houston nightclub shows two different parties, one from New York and the other from Baltimore, emptying out liquor onto the floor in an apparent flex off. This is quote. This is the voice. It says, "Pour that shit the fuck out." A voice booms on a microphone as the two parties gesture at one another from the club, from across the club. Nah, the bottle was crazy. TikToker at Jordan two-time captioned this video, which has racked up over 500,000 views since it was shared last week. It was subsequently reshared by the internet personality DJ Academics on X, which was Twitter. Still stupid to say X. Anyway, which has been viewed. Now this is scary. Said has been viewed almost 31 million times. Anyway, and this is DJ Academics quote. He said, "In Houston's rich dudes are having bottle wars, meaning they buy expensive liquor and instead of drinking it, pour out to flex on other dudes in the club." And I'll stop there because I don't want to continue to read this fluggery. Now, I mentioned before how I always talked about how this documentary that I watched, it's on YouTube about how to sell to a Negro. And I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly the three word, but I know two stuck in my mind based on what we do as a people when it comes to purchasing things. I think it was about one was dealing with status, right? And I think the other one was dealing with attention from others, basically, right? Those were the main. I don't know what the third one is, but I know those two stuck with me. And mind you, this was like in the 50s. They were talking about this. And it's crazy to think 70 something years later, you still have shit like this being replayed millions and millions of times of basically just us acting like jackasses, trying to have a dick swinging contest over some shit we don't own for what? They said there was a point in time that a third of us back in like the 50s, a third of us owned houses. And mind you, we had our own businesses. Everything was, and of course, you can say the red line of Jim Crow, all this, et cetera, stuff. But I mean, despite all those things, we were still able to prosper. So it's like, sure, you want to throw those curveballs like heavy racism back then. To be honest, now looking back on it, because you know they lie in history books all the time. They always lie in history books. That I mean, they even said like some of the pictures in the history books, which I kind of snipped out because I'm pretty sure around the like late 50s, early 60s, they were showing like colored TV shows, colored, colored news programmings. Everything was in color. Why every time I look up something civil rights like, it's always black and white? They do that sometimes to program you by thinking it's dated and old. They want you to think that like this is I'm off topic, but I'm just making a point here. The fact that we came from, after the assassinations of like King X and all that, because of what's been programmed for us to believe, thinking that's just dated stuff. If you really think about it, in the grand scheme of history, what happened back then compared to now was in history since like a few days ago. Like the civil rights movement isn't really that old if you really think about it. I mean, Malcolm X died at 65. Martin Luther King died at 68. You know how many relatives I had? I was probably kids, teenagers around that time in my family, in everybody's family. But I say this to say that we came from stock like that wanted us to unite and be one, be a prosperous people, be actually respected as human beings, in a sense. To what I've just seen and what I witnessed, this is like it's almost like a slap in the face. Now, of course, we can get into the politics about if they really was for us and who was funding them for real, but I'm here to get into the nitty gritty on what is really going down as far as why we exhibit these traits. We love spending money on frivolous things to show off in front of other people that wouldn't even care if we died tomorrow. Only us. I don't see anybody else doing that. Again, I could be wrong, but I've never seen any other race do that. I'm still waiting. Unless somebody can show me something like this happening, I can't I can't call it. In a sense, like I can't call. I don't know what to say about it. There's nothing I can say. I'm gonna see if I can. Let me just. I'll play an audio. I don't know how to do the video, but just for some clarification, I'm gonna just play audio because I also have people to actually listen to it via audio. But let me Let me find it. Here we go. So this is what happened in the Houston club. New York. One section was New York. One was Baltimore. Just listen. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. We stand this shit. We stand here because even listening to that a second time, because I listened to this before I put it, but it's just this is where we're at right now. Like just some numbers, and y'all hear me mention this. Like the dollar in Asian community circulates 28 days. The dollar. That's how long it's circulated before it's gone. That's like an average. That's like basically February, right? But I think white Jewish is like 19. I know they said Hispanic is like 11 to 10, and then so on and so forth. You know how long the black dollar lasts in neighborhoods? 6 hours. Just to put it in retrospect, a shift is 8 hours, right? For what we were taught. Technically, depending on your breaks, maybe 7 to 7.5, just working straight, not counting breaks. Depending if you have like an hour break or whatever, 2:15, however you want to put it, or an hour lunch, half an hour lunch, however you want to put it. But just the work shift is 8 hours, right? By the time you almost done with your shift, you gonna be broke. You ain't gonna have no money left. You blowing it on frivolous stuff. You blowing it on shoes. You blowing it on cars. You blowing it on jewelry. You blowing it on going to these fancy restaurants. You blowing it on going to buying these big houses that you know you can't afford. What else? Just nonsense. You're just wasting it all the time. But I always find it funny that the same people that, in this case, buying overpriced alcohol. Like I seen one of them, like I'm pretty sure, like I'm what was it, like a bottle of rose. You can go to the Kroger and get that shit like mad, like at a cheaper price. But you at the club spending all this money on that shit. I'm not saying that was rose. I'm just making a point about how ridiculous it is. But then we always circle back and try to say white man did it. What about that had anything to do with white people? It's all excuses. It's just another way to try to ignore the lack of accountability, and it's only us. We're our biggest enemy because we'd rather try to have a big dick competition with someone instead of uniting and creating something, building something, achieving a common goal. But nobody wants to be builders no more. Everybody wants to do, especially men. Like I remember, and I hate to be the person that says back in those days was this. I get it. Things change. I'm pretty sure there's people that make money different ways. However you generate your wealth, do you. But all I'm saying is, not all of us is gonna have should be having like going and striving to do the same jobs or like same aspirations. Like, okay, yeah, every one of us, there's just few people that may have are skilled and think they're gonna go to the league or got, hoop dreams or, big baller dreams and all that. But then not everybody is meant to do that. And why is that the only means of success for men? Like men, sports, you know, dope dealing and rapping. That can't be all we're capable of. So the main question, and like I said, I'm gonna be long winded, but do we put a low value on ourselves? Do we really hold ourselves to a high standard, or do we put it up front like we should be put up to a certain standard? Because what we say and how we act don't really match. Oh, I think we should get reparations. I think we should get this. You can't even keep a 2 weeks check in your pocket. You just had to go get some shoes. You had to go get this. You had to spend it on this TV or this gaming system on nonsense. Oh, I had to get this for my kid, but you know, speaking in a woman's perspective, oh, I got this money. I gotta go get my stuff for my kid, but you spending that money, you spending your child support money on nails and hair and makeup and all that. How is it? Don't see any white men responsible for that. And to be honest, I think it boils down. I'll even take it back. Ooh, almost popped my neck. I'll take it back to the crack epidemic. Like, we always glamorize the negative things all the time. We always do that. Instead of being united with one another, holding each other accountable, we would rather destroy people around us or destroy ourselves. Nobody knows how to. I gotta do my French, but we would rather, cause destruction than build and elevate. Like, come on, I get it. This one person, uh, who was a day day from the block, got shot by a cop because he looked like he was stealing this. Okay, if you want justice, okay, do it a certain way where nobody gets hurt. Why do you have to destroy uh, Earl's subway shop to prove a point? That's when it gets stupid. That's when the stuff just gets dumb. Or you have the same energy from when a white cop kills, someone around your way. But where's that energy when it's a multitude of that? I mean, look at the stuff that's happening in Chicago. Why are there no marches and protests and nobody looting stores when it's a genocide almost every day over there? Like, do we really value ourselves? Or are we just putting up a front? Do we want to be considered, you know, a strong species of man? Or do we just want to be the forever victims? Because right now I'm seeing a lot of people playing victim all the time. Nobody knows how to look at themselves in the mirror and realize what's going on. Because you look up any institution in different communities, right? I notice how it's always banks, always schools, always some hospital of some sort. even have their own police station, fire stations. And that's like, white, whatever. Some Hispanic, some Asian communities have their own doctors. They have their own doctor, their own urgent care. I've seen that too in certain communities. They have their own urgent care. What's in the average black community? A chicken spot, a liquor store, right next to the gas station that sells, you know, cigarettes on the counter, and black cigarillos, all that, backwoods, and they're all the same building. And then down the way, it's always a church. But then there's a school, but it's like not isn't built yet. Neighborhood is run down, but everybody got all the designer stuff on. Everybody got every fabric of designer clothing with a European last name attached to it on them, though. When do the excuses stop? When will we actually come to a conclusion and actually realize that we're causing our own destruction? No more blaming the white man because it's played out. And yes, for those that want to sound like, oh, I don't know my history. Yes, I actually am very aware of it. I do understand the hurdles that's been put on us since the beginning of time. But at this point, I don't see that. I don't see that. I see us putting our own shackles on our legs, own hurdles in front of other obstacles, because the war is no longer a physical war. When the last time there ever been a war? There's no wars going on right now. Nobody's going to war right now. Nobody's beefing with us. The war is here, and you know, in the spiritual. That's what's going on. Psychological. That's the real war. They do it in ways that you don't expect it. Through music, through TV, through food. Like we've been conditioned so bad to think that eating healthy is white. Like when did the eating healthy stuff become a white thing to do? Like that's what I mean. Like we're so backwards. We don't really know what our true value is because we think that going so low, like I mean lower than low is makes us comfortable in a way. We think we're safe when we do that. We think we're in good footing. But you know, there's always gonna be people that try to, you know, make up their own excuse on why they're so far behind with the times and why they're not prospering in this fashion, and it's just a bunch of excuses. It's too late for me. I've been busy. Yeah, man. But oh, I am so beat. Man, I tell you, this rain be making me sleepy. I don't know about y'all. This rain is making me sleepy, but um, yeah, like I said, it wasn't gonna be too long. I just want to touch on something that was just I just had to speak on because seeing that kind of like it was kind of like almost like a setback when I saw it. It's like, dang, like you can never get far because of shit like this. But it's gonna have to happen sooner or later to where the things that we're seeing right now ain't the ticket. You know, I don't know. I saw something. I forget. It's like I think we was like responsible for like $2 trillion of like spending money in the U.S. But y'all mean to tell me y'all can't spend a course on how to run a business or put up a down payment on some land to start up a business, or go to school to learn a skill or a trade? You don't have the time for that? When does the excuses stop? When is it gonna come to a realization that we're our biggest enemy? We never grow because we're too. I don't know. We're afraid. I don't know. It's just sort of a shame feeling. But I had enough of that. I just took a picture. Like, what was that? I just took a picture or something. Nah, I'm tripping. But let me get up out of here, man. Like, that's all I gotta say about that. Yeah, just wanted to touch on that. If you're new, like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube at That's Like the Dialogue. Follow me on X Twitter. It's capital D underscore T underscore D, then lowercase official. If you want to check me out there. Apple, Spotify, Anchor, iHeart, Amazon, all that. I'm on there. So y'all can find me on there. If you're not new, continue to share, continue to support your boy, man. I mean, I'm dropping jewels right here. I'm only here to just expand y'all's minds. Like I said, I'm just a messenger. Don't try to shoot me down. But that's all I got for y'all. Till next time. Peace.